What's up, comic and pop culture fans? This is James with Minhunter Comics, and today we got a whopper of a submission back from CBCS. A few months back, I got to interview the legendary Jim Starlin, and with the help of Nick Barucci, CEO of Dynamite Entertainment, Jim was able to send me 5 personal collections from his file copies. Let me just say that sentence again. With the help of Nick Barucci, CEO of Dynamite Entertainment, Jim Starlin was able to send me 5 of his personal copies. Sometimes life is good. Since they were signed copies, I sent them off to CBCS to get that verified signature, and I still have the COAs with everything. Before we dive into that, I want to introduce you to the sponsor of our video today. That is Comic Shell. These things are awesome. These are actual comic slab travel packs. So if you want to walk around in Comic Cons, or maybe just go to the nearby Starbucks and kind of flex on everybody, you now can. I'll drop a link and make sure to pick this up. It's actually pretty darn sweet. We'll do an unboxing and then we'll place the comics in here at the end of the video. I believe it only holds 2 slabs, but I actually got 2 of them. Really cool out-of-the-box type of project right here. I think a lot of people are going to really like that. All right, let's dive in. First up, there's an interesting letter that I want to read to you from CBCS, and this is pretty important. It's actually an apology on their end. Dear collectors, CBCS has experienced challenges in the last couple of years, and we wanted to reach out with an apology and some good news. As a company, we weren't prepared to handle the incredible volume generated during the pandemic. I believe that. We began the process of hiring more expert staff as we soon realized how many grading and pressing orders were coming our way. Hiring the right people to meet our standards is not a quick or easy process. Well, I can happily say that CBCS just massively overhauled everything, and you can expect your submissions to come back way quicker now, and that actually includes pressing. Which is good, because their turnaround times were a little bit downright ridiculous. The first book I'm going to start us off with, and I want to show you firstly the certificate of authenticity on the back that says that, let's see, this certifies that this is an authentic artist-proof copy from the private collection and signed by Jim Starlin. Pretty freaking sweet. This is the first appearance of Magus, Matriarch, and the Universal Church of Truth, and most people know it mainly as the origin of Warlock retold. Now, I really thought that this would land like an 8.5. It did get a 7.5. So that grade was a touch on the surprising side, but it's okay. It's still a private collection book from CBCS. Here's the problem. Not really a problem, but it is interesting to note. So, CGC recognizes pedigrees, and for example, my buddy Joe just bought a book that was privately owned by Steve Ditko, and it actually says from the private collection of Steve Ditko. But CGC doesn't verify signatures of already signed books. CBCS does that. They have the whole program with Beckett that they can double check to see those signatures and see if they're valid. Luckily for me, I already had a COA, but they still treat it just like any other book that comes in. Now, the unfortunate thing is CBCS doesn't recognize pedigrees. So while I did get the verified yellow label, it does not say anywhere on there from the private collection of Jim Starlin. The grading team at CBCS reached out to me and they said, "This just came on our desk. I want to let you know we don't do pedigrees. Do you still want to proceed?" And I thought that was really cool that they let me know that that's not something that they offer right now, and I'm glad that they asked me. Of course, I still wanted it graded though, so please continue. Hopefully in the future, CBCS will be able to say from the private collection of Nick Cage or wherever. But in the meantime, you have 2 companies that offer 2 things that I wish we could Frankenstein, man. We need CBCS to recognize pedigrees, and we need CGC to be able to do the signature verification. Next up, and what I think is the star of today's episode, is Batman the Cult, which often gets a little bit forgotten. You talk about Killing Joke and Serious House on Serious Earth, Arkham Asylum. Sometimes this one gets forgotten, and I think this is the real gem of the late 80s. It's Batman the Cult. Well, this is Jim Starlin's private copy. This is a private collection by Jim Starlin and signed by Jim Starlin. Classic story here. It's also the first appearance of Deacon Blackfire. Well, I can happily say that this perfectly preserved Jim Starlin book, bam, got the 9.8. 9.8 private collection that immediately holds much more value than just another Jim Starlin signed 9.8. This is his file copy. He wrote the cult, and then he kept this copy, and now it's mine, and it's a 9.8. Here we have issue number 2. Same thing, certificate of authenticity on the back. Bam, 9.8, both of them. 1 and 2, got the 9.8. Let's see if we can get it on 3. Certificate of authenticity, Batman the Cult number 3, 9.8. 3 of 4 getting the perfect 9.8. And can we do a clean sweep? Certificate of authenticity, Batman the Cult issue number 4, 9.6. Still a gorgeous book. 3 out of the 4 got the 9.8, and the other one just got a 9.6, which is a hair away from a 9.8. Still, one part of my brain is kind of like, man, couldn't you just give it to me? Yeah, the rest got 9.8s. Can't you just make this happen? But no, they got to grade it fair. They do. So 1, 2, 3, 4 private collection Jim Starlin's file copies of my favorite 80s Batman story, now getting the 9.8. If that is not insane, I really don't know what is. This is the definition of an unbelievable, awesome situation. I feel just so incredibly honored. It's a shock that I have this. This is really something. In the future, I'd love to see CBCS make some mention of pedigrees. That would be one thing that they could work on, I would say. Now let's try our travel case. And there you have it, folks. This is the comic shell, which is able to hold 2 slabs. Batman Cult number 1, Batman Cult number 2. Very awesome. You can carry it in a briefcase. It zips up. And you've got a little bit of sweetness to carry around with you. Sturdy, good material. I'm really digging this. Really digging that indeed. If you want to pick them up, I will definitely include a link. But a short video today, but a really cool one. Hopefully you agree. Like and subscribe on your way out. Keep on hunting. I'll see you at the next video.